Tila Tequila is a shape-shifting hoe bag. Baby dolls, welcome back for another special UFO episode. Just a short while ago, I made a video titled Here Lizard People. You have Jeffrey Epstein. We speak about reptilians all throughout history and lizard people, which I thought was totally just a meme. And then the more I keep researching, I'm like, hey, for like a made-up story, there seems to be thousands of people cross-corroborating some very similar patterns for thousands of years. And in there, friends, there's a band here, the Smashing Pumpkins, right? Smashing Pumpkins, it's a band from America. And this is the guitar gentleman, sir. Billy Corgan is from Hollywood, right? He told a story. He goes, listen, I actually know a shapeshifter. She did it twice, okay? We found out who it was. It was Tila Tequila. Tila Tequila. Now, when I saw it, I thought, whoa. Tila Tequila? What's going on here? Now, friends, this story is going to get very dark. And you're like, Somi, how would you cover such a dark story wearing a Viking hat? And I'll tell you right now, friends, when I grew up and you grew up, we watch all the movies and the biblical stories, and you play the PS1 games where they tie religion and all this stuff out here, you actually find out it's true such that light and truth and justice and being brave and courageous, it's actually the kryptonite to this evil scum. I thought when I was a kid, I'm like, yeah, you know, if they're so evil and powerful, they probably run us over. Nope. We're going to go dive deep here, friends. I'm going to cover Josh's video. In my Lizard People video, this is wild, friends. I've got 23,000 views. Kind of funny. More than any, any crypto video, right? It's kind of funny. Look, friends, look at YouTube. They're so desperate. They've got to like do the reptilian humanoid stuff down here to let you know. They go, oh, they're totally not real. They're totally not real. But I'm going to give you a full-on Wikipedia entry just to remind you it's all myth. It's all folklore. We're going to go dive deeper, friends. So, yeah, it's actually Tequila. Now, there's a story and everything that comes on here. I'm just going to let Josh do a bit of an introduction.
I'm a little bit nervous for this one. What the hell is going on, guys?
So I've got to let you know, friends, this video you're watching right now, it could get deleted, all right? Because what I'm about to cover for you, look, I can't show you the stuff that's all shadow banned because you're going to go type it in and then they, right, are going to like notice that their banned stuff is being like hyper searched by all of us, and then they're going to go follow the trail link and they're going to come out and maybe either do like just a different method of shadow banning or everything else. But if you watch, fans, I've shown the contraband videos of what they actually you can't look it up on YouTube anymore. They actually ban it. So they're smart now, friends. They don't just go delete your video. They used to delete your video, but then it goes viral. So what they do now is they shadow ban you. So you can't search up the video unless you type in the full copy paste of it, all of it. So remember, friends, Billy Corgan, he goes on Howard Stern and he talks about this little shape-shifting.
Talking about it. In case you didn't see it in the last video, this is him on Howard Stern on 2 different occasions telling the story of this shapeshifter. Check it out.
Say I was with somebody once and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
You were talking to someone. They said to you, look, something's going to happen here. I'm going to morph into something else.
Imagine you're doing something and suddenly you turn around and there's somebody else standing there.
You still standing by it?
Absolutely. I know it.
So, friends, we have the story here. Okay, I'm going to give you the juice. It was Tila Tequila. And you know when he said you're doing something, it was an adult act. It was a sexual act in the bedroom. And, I mean, this is, friends, I'm telling you now, the patterns going out here. Okay, it's going to make you think twice about stuff, but let's go. Funny, there's a part on where Billy Corgan, he goes on to Joe Rogan. And Joe, in the last 3 minutes of the podcast, Joe asks him about it, but they get sidetracked. And you could tell Joe was like waiting the whole episode to ask him this, okay? The whole episode. Just have a listen here. Look at this.
Yeah, that's part of the music business, right?
Yeah.
I got to ask you this one thing for
Sure.
It's because I read this and I was like, what?
By the way, this was at like the last 3 minutes of their podcast, right? And you can just tell there, like, this has been on Joe's mind like the entire time. And he just is like, okay, before you go, I have to ask you this.
Here we go.
You saw someone shapeshift?
Oh, God.
So nervous.
Is that real, or were you fucking with people?
No, it's true.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
Because when you told me that you enjoy Kaufman-like moments, I was like, okay.
No, it's true. I would tell you off grid, but I won't say it publicly.
So, man, it's kind of funny. Ha 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 ha! You mean the Hollywood Hills that we've only been hearing about the pedophilia acts that the president comes and defends the 1,000 child victim pedophilia island? Ha 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 ha! So now, friends, thanks to Joshy, a cracker, upstanding, gentle sir, Tila Tequila here, before she shapeshifted, okay, she became aware of what's going on. So if you're going to listen to her little speech here, and this is going to trip you out, you know, because she started like waking up and she calls out Alex Jones. Watch this.
So I'm making this video because now is the time, and I am about to release some very important documents as well as proof, so you know. And once again, I want to thank you all for your support, because the more you support me, the more I'm able to speak out for you and expose more truths to you. Because I'm the only one here doing this, and they continue to block me out and do whatever they can to discredit me, to make me disappear, because they know they can't just point blank assassinate me, because I keep telling you and warn you ahead of time. So if they do that, then everybody will know that they murdered me. They started saying that, oh, well, Thiel is part of the Illuminati. She's just here to be part of the agenda to, you know, the New Age movement, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, now there's proof that I'm not. Now they're saying, and now they're going back to other stuff. So what is it? What is it, guys? So am I some haggard person who's been hiding my face because I'm so disgustingly ugly now? Or is it the fact, am I part of the Illuminati or not? Because one minute you say that I am, and now that I prove that I'm not, you go off and say all these other stuff. So make up your mind. Oh, as for Alex, you've lost a lot of credibility.
Just talking about Alex Jones.
Amongst a lot of people. I mean, even myself, I was a fan for a little bit, but then I started noticing as well that, okay, everybody listen here. Here's another valid point. Everybody who speaks the truth, such as myself, those who are like Alex Jones, for instance, he speaks a lot of these truths, right? He gets all this information. But why is it that he's still able to speak on the air? Why is it that he seems to be protected by some source? Why do you think that is? And why is it someone like Tila Tequila, who speaks of the same thing? I don't even go as far as Alex. I speak, you know, the truth as well, but why am I being banned? Think about it.
It's a pretty interesting point about Alex Jones. Like, he does out a lot of people. But I don't know, I guess he's kind of independent as well, but then again...
Baby dolls, you know, I've already covered for you how many stories we cover. Like that Julian Brown kid. Literally, he showed everybody from his garage how to turn plastic into fuel, gets a death threat immediately. His mum says, oh, kid's gone into hiding. He's not allowed to talk or he'll be assassinated tomorrow. You know what I mean? So when they don't want you to release something, that's the response. Okay? Like, even though, like, friends, Alex, man, you got to remember, friends, we got to give some credit. Alex Jones predicted the Jenga towers falling and Osama bin Laden being behind it. He predicted it in July 2001, before Rectember 2001. So he's tapped in somehow, but that's 24 years ago, you know? I'm telling you, man, they know how to get you. They know how to get you. That's why you shine the light once, but you can't shine the light every time. You see? You already know with the Trump stuff. We saw that, friends. Trump, like Bibi Netanyahu, he's doing, and then Alex Jones comes out, and then like, man, Alex got looked like a big bro. Alex, you spent your whole life saying there's a pedophilia island, and then the president says that doesn't exist. It makes you think, man. So that's the thing, friends. When I watch these, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought all of this was made up. You guys are acting like it's all real. That's the funny part, friends. Just like crypto, I'm contrarian. Yeah, so I'm not looking at the people telling me to believe something. I'm looking at the people saying, don't believe it. With you. We're watching them. And I'm like, you know what? For something that's fake, it's very sus, bro. I can talk about pedophilia stuff on YouTube, but I can't talk about the 1,000 kids on the island. That's weird. That's weird. I can, friends, I can show you artists who rap about abusing women, bashing women, getting high on drugs all the time. Easy, right? I mean, look, pick any rap song, right? I can do that, but I can't show you the lizard dude shape-shifting in the Barack Obama speech. You know which one, friends? I've shown you. This one, yeah? I've made videos about it, right? This guy from the Secret Service. Man, that's you gotta admit, man, that's pretty weird. How like I can literally talk about 15 ways to fry your brain and abuse other humans, but you won't let me show people the totally fake video of a shapeshifter, huh? Very weird. All right, let Tila Tequila continue.
Platforms and just flat out banned. That doesn't happen to Alex Jones. It is a fair point.
Because I'm speaking the truth, but I'm not trying to put people in fear. I'm not trying to scare you. Alex speaks the truth, but he does it in a way where he's fear-mongering and he speaks out the truth, but he speaks in a trembling way to scare people. Oh no, everybody, the world's ending. We're all going to die. We have no rights. To scare you guys, to take the power away from you. I just speak the truth coming from the light, but giving you back your power. There's a difference. That's why I'm being banned and people like Alex Jones is being protected by the CIA. Because he's part of the system to speak the truth, but to also instill fear into the world. So we're all scared and helpless and feeling hopeless. Whereas me, I'm speaking the truth as well, but I'm not doing it in a way where I'm scaring you guys. I'm actually speaking the real truth underneath the truth. I know this all sounds very confusing, but the fact is, like I said, I know all their tactics. I know like I said, I have a situation that directly related to one of the leaders of the others. So that's why.
So this was all coming out, from my understanding.
Whoa. By the way, Josh misses the very, very end. I just noticed that. She goes, I know one of the leaders of the others. Did you catch that? I think Josh...
But the fact is, like I said, I know all their tactics. I know, like I said, I have a situation that directly related to one of the leaders of the others. So...
She literally says she knows the group. Now, friends, we have the story of the shape-shifting here, okay? So there is a very kind, gentle sir who replied to Josh in the comment section. He's actually from Hollywood, okay? He's from Hollywood, and he's in the music circle. He's remained anonymous. He told the story. He goes, the story's been shared everywhere. Okay, this is the story. I'm going to read it here for you. He goes, hi, Josh. So this is Tila Tequila shape-shifting. If you have any turtles in the room, please ask them to leave. Hi, Josh. I'm the guy that left the comment about Billy Corgan and Tila Tequila. I'm not going to mention source names. You know, some of these people are active musicians. I don't want to ruin careers, no matter how big or small. He goes, in 2009, Billy Corgan, the Smashing Pumpkins guy who went on Joe Rogan, right? He was seeking investment partners to co-found a pro wrestling company based in Chicago, primarily wrestling. He planned a party and then he invited celebrities. There were former wrestlers, athletes, musicians, private investors, and they went to his mansion in Beverly Hills that he just bought. And actually, friends, this is a picture of it right here. Billy Corgan, his Beverly Hills mansion. I guess this is it. This is it, all right? Just to paint a picture. So he's having a party, you know, he invites everyone over. And this guy gets really specific. Look what he says. He says, Tila Tequila was invited by Shaun Merriman, the former NFL player. So I've got a picture of him here. I think this guy, he's got a chin of the gods here. This guy's got the squarest chin I've ever seen, friends. Okay, very, very, very square chin. Rivals my my posture, actually, with how square it is. So this dude, Shaun, he was with another female as well, right? I guess he needed someone to play Monopoly with, you know. Billy and Tila Tequila, they got to know each other during the party. And he asked if she would like to stay the night. You know, probably play checkers in the bedroom. And then Tila Tequila said yes. And then this gentleman says, my former bandmate, I'll call him BM for short, manager, he was invited. So he got invited, right? And he was close to the Smashing Pumpkins Billy Corgan. So the manager gets a call from Billy Corgan the next morning, and this is how the conversation went. Okay? So this is Billy, right? Billy Corgan, I just showed you. So Billy calls him on the phone. Man, imagine this conversation. So it goes similar to something like, so Billy says, hey, did you notice anything weird with Tila Tequila last night? That's what he says on it. You know this girl? Did you notice anything weird with her? And then his manager says, what do you mean? And then Billy says, did she seem off or different? And then the manager goes, I've never met Tila Tequila before. I don't know what different would be. And then Billy goes, I think she's a bit different. And then the manager goes, different as in like, you want to marry her? Right, that's how you know it's legit. Because that took me by surprise. Like, hey, like, do you like her? She's different as in like, you want to keep her? And then Billy goes, no, I was trucked up last night. Like, I know I had a bit of alcohol, like a buzz, but... And he goes, I don't know, I'll call you later. Here she comes. So then the manager hears Tila Tequila's raised voice right before Billy ends the call. And I guess she says, why the hell did you sleep in another room? He told the manager later that day, he swore that Tila Tequila's face started to change while they were having adult sexual relations. He told him the more, I guess she was becoming orgasmic, the more her face contorted and took a different shape. And then he's like in disbelief, right? And he says, he told the manager he must have been having like a hallucination, and then he was still talking to her. He's just watching like a reptilian head, right? So that was the first time. Okay, he's thinking, oh man, that's totally weird. You know, giant reptilian head with black pupils, looks like a giant lizard. Maybe I was hallucinating. By the way, this is kind of like what the sketch would kind of like look like. This is what they traditionally have been looking like in history, friends. Literally like a reptile, right? Literally like a reptile. Well, you know what I say, friends. Everyone looks the same. We're like, just put a box over her. You know what I mean? just put a box or a plastic bag. All the same to me. Now, that was encounter number one. Then it happened again. So a few months later, Billy comes to Chicago and he's with Tila Tequila and Casey Johnson. And I guess her dad is the owner of the New York Jets. Then Billy invites everyone for a get-together. They had a little normal get-together. They have drinks. They have a little smoke. And then Billy says no one was doing any, I guess, hard drugs. I guess there are no needles or anything really, really hard. He says after everybody was gone, I guess he says Billy and the girls were having fun. So obviously they took their clothes off and they're like, time to play checkers. Maybe even Monopoly, okay? So Billy was playing Monopoly with two girls naked. But then at 5 a.m., you know this gentle so right in the message? Remember his manager, BM? He gets a call from Billy. It's 5 a.m. And Billy Corgan, he's freaking out, right? He said he went to take a shower. And when he came back, Tila Tequila was with the other naked lady. And I guess Tila Tequila, she was getting an oil change, if you know what I mean. She was getting an oil change by the other lady, and her face started shape-shifting again. And this is where it gets wild. He said her eyes turned completely black, right? So that's why these things actually look scary, friends. If you check it out, their pupils are black, giant black. Look at this haircut. This is kind of funny. You got to admit, this is kind of funny, right? The actual eyes turn black. Now, if you want to know, friends, you and I, okay, because we're apes, right? When we see full black eyes, it looks scary to us because we don't know where they're looking, right? We feel safer when you can see the whites of the eyes. You see that? So we feel safer because we know where the thing is looking. When you see like big black eyes, like something like this, or where they're like giantly big black, that's why they look scary. You and I are programmed to just think these things like look scary because you can't see the whites of the eyes. And he actually said, while she was shape-shifting her head, she cracked a smile at him as it was happening. Interesting. And then, yeah, that's how it went down. Now, there's actually a part here. I don't know if it's a joke or lyrics, but there's a part here where he said, my buddy's manager said he was freaking out and all he could hear was the same voice yelling, despite all my rage, I am still a rat in a cage. But then there's a laughy face. So I don't know if that's like some sort of reference to a lyrics or something. But yeah. So it says as well, so Billy Corgan, he's like convinced like this chick's like totally a demon, right? But that's why it's so interesting, friends. So she comes out and she's like, look, I'm revealing the truth. I'm revealing the truth. You don't know, man. Like, is she dead? Is that a body double? Is the real Tila Tequila gone? You know? Now, this is where, I mean, like the story, you're like, whoa! Shapeshifter? My gosh! Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Don't go there. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You know what I mean? Big black eyes. Okay, it's going to take a dark turn, friends. You're like, it's dark enough already. No, it's about to get darker. Because Josh started digging into Tila Tequila. And you're seeing Tila Tequila, you know, she's a pocket rocket. You're like, wow, I didn't know, you know, you could shapeshift. But that's why you don't know, friends. Is it the real her? You don't know, okay? Now, what ends up happening is Josh is looking through, oh my gosh, he's Billy Corgan and her. Oh my gosh. Friends, I told you it's a conspiracy SuperCycle, man. Like, we just want to know so bad. These stories, you know, everyone's like, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm like, dude, we are in a bull market for alien disclosure and conspiracy SuperCycle and red pill SuperCycle. Everything's coming out. Literally everything, okay? It's all about to come out. And I think humanity will be better for it. So Josh here is researching Tila Tequila. Look at this, context. Tila Tequila began dating Johnson & Johnson heiress Casey Johnson in 2007. And you're probably wondering, Somi, what happened to Casey Johnson? Mysterious death at 30, you know? Now, they said, oh, he's diabetic and keto acidosis, possibly exacerbated by a drug. I don't believe any of this, bro. I don't believe literally anything anymore. Like, bro, the US president defended the 1,000 child victim pedophilia ring. I don't believe anything anymore, okay? It's all psyops to me. Like, I'm like, well, okay. Flip the tables. That's what I'm... He went that far. There is no list. He never existed. Stop talking about him. Makes you think, man. Now, do you want to know what's interesting as well, friends? You know, Billy Corgan, he was going to write about the Shapeshifter story in his book, but it got mysteriously abandoned. Corgan has stopped trying to finish his memoir. I put it down, I wrote about half of it, which was 500,000 words, and I turned it in. The publisher loved it and said, we want to wait for you to finish before we start putting it out. He says, why don't you start putting it out and I'll keep writing? So then I was just ground to a halt and I stopped writing because it was such a Herculean effort just to get 500,000. Okay, now this is, friends, we're about to go, it's going to get darker. Now, because you're my baby doll baby cake, do you remember, if you watch my lizard people video, in here, one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, her name's Juliette, she had the same report. When she was being abused, unfortunately, as a child, right, underage, by Jeffrey Epstein, she said when he was orgasming in the bed, his head shapeshifted as well. Okay? And let's just go listen to her connection stories here. Listen.
Okay, this has been out a while. Check this out.
Can you explain what you mean by shapeshifting here?
Well, when I was in the bedroom with him, because he used to take me into that small bedroom, and it was always dark and really cold. And then it was almost like when he was orgasming or something. Like, I looked at him and suddenly his face like grew big like this. And then I saw these huge black eyes like this. And then a big mouth with this horrible tongue and like this sort of dragon horn stuff, which is like almost like the devil or... You know, I mean, I can't explain really what I saw because I saw him turn into this horrible, creepy thing. And I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't drinking alcohol. Nothing like that was allowed. You know, like a lot of people think there were parties going on there. There weren't any parties. There was no alcohol. Absolutely not allowed.
So there you go. Literally like the exact same details. And like I said, this is where the story is going to take a really dark turn. And you might be thinking.
So, man, telling you, I'm like, no way. Because when I was looking, remember, I started with UFOs, Joe Rogan, UFOs, Bob Lazar. I'm going down. Crypto's going along the same way. And I'm like, I'm a bit scared because every conspiracy that I laughed at and ignored as a kid, I'm slowly discovering that they're getting knocked down one by one. And I was always thinking, probably the lizard people, the one that's fake. And then like, here we are. I'm like, no, not the lizard people. That's my friends. I'm kind of scared at the rate we're moving. The Earth's going to be flat by next year. So I don't know. I don't. I'm just telling you. You line them all up, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's real anymore? By the way, it's just reality's constructed. What's real? I want to know what's real. Let's continue. Now, friends, I'm gonna show a clip from this lady. She's with Shaun Attwood. Shaun Attwood, absolute beast. Remember, he was dealing some of the best MDMA in America. I forgot which state he was in. That's right, Arizona. Shout out to all my baby dolls in Arizona. It was hot. It was stinky. He's got an amazing book. But now, friend, he's like really red-pilled. He just shows the global elites and everything. I guess where he started waking up when he saw how corrupt the prison system was. And he just saw that, so he does a lot of amazing work out here. But this lady, oh my God, friend, I'm just telling you right now. Like, here's the thing. They can kill one of us, but they can't kill all of us, right? They can't get all of us. Let's continue.
It goes back for generations. I remember my father confessing that my oldest brother is 8 years younger than him. Is cyclical.
She said the word, the pedophilia, if you know what I mean. That's what she said. It's cyclical.
With men, especially when they stifle it, they repeat the patterns, which I don't see as an excuse. I'm not, but of course this happens with men. And power and pressure to conform is excellent as a tool for silencing people. They told me that we belonged to the cult of Baal, B-A''A''L. They told me this with consistency while I was being abused. Now, what you can look up about the cult of Baal, information that is publicly available, is that it is thousands of years old. It is a Phoenician satanic fertility cult. And publicly, it's supposed to have been eradicated. But to my knowledge and my experience, it is not.
Friends, I have to stop you there as well. Do you know that lady that we just watched before, Juliette? You know how she said she saw Jeffrey Epstein, his head shape-shifting when he was abusing her? She also, one of her claims was they were trying to have a baby-making factory on the island, right? It was trying to take people's DNA and actually produce babies. So that's why we knew that. And then this lady comes out and says, oh, the cult of Baal is a fertility type of demon thing, cult. See what I mean? Like, don't commit to any of these. You're like, that's really strange how there's these things that are connecting together. Let's continue.
This is what people perceive the Illuminati to be. It is a group of elites that practices forced and uses these crimes to control people. They happen to have a huge reach over politics and entertainment. My great-grandfather, according to my father, was Walt Disney. Before he moved to the United States, his name was Artur Bick, A-R-T-U-R-B-I-C-K-E. And his twin sister, who he had children with, who I am descended from, was named Minnie. That's where we get Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It's very cute, right? Except for when you consider the abuse that I suspect is still happening to children who go into the entertainment industry.
So, next time you see one of those fat blue and pink hair weirdos telling your son, you know what, chop your genitals off. Hey, girl, what do you identify as today? Oh, doorknob. Cool, you can be a doorknob. What are you going to be tomorrow? Oh, turtle. You can be a turtle. I used to think, oh, no, maybe a bit loopy. No, it's coming from somewhere that really wants them. I also think, friends, a lot of this, I don't think it's genetic, man. I think that's a cop-out. I don't think it's like, oh, no, just like some of the people are just like, you know, they're just brains are wired differently. No. This is their stories, man. These people, like, they're born normal. They get into here and they sell their soul. That's weird. You know what I mean? They really sell their soul. Now, I had this quest, right? I wanted to know why. Why are they selling their soul? What is actually going on here? Friends, do you remember Aborymon? Do you remember the shitty Digimon sounding name? Aborymon? From this really, really kind, the angel Aborymon. This guy. Do you remember this guy? So remember when we had Matthew Brown, Pentagon, UFO leaker, spending there 5-6 years. He comes out and he starts sharing the Enochian magic, this black magic thing. And then this gentleman, I think I forgot his name, he's like casting the light. He does the summoning stuff, the Ouija board stuff, you know? And he's like saying, oh yeah, like I did a lot of the stuff. You basically just do a lot of meditating and like you seek for answers. And I was thinking like, man, you look like pretty chill. Like, you know, I'm thinking like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And he's like thinking, it's pretty cool. Anyway, after his interview, 50 minutes in, he goes, oh yeah, I kind of had to stop because then like some like not so pleasant things started happening to me. And I'm like, bro, we have so many movies and books telling you it's a bad idea to do this. He's like, nah, I'll do it. So what ends up happening, because aren't you curious? I'm like, listen, otherworldly being, other interdimensional thing. Firstly, you got so much power, why can't you just manifest here? I don't know. It must be some sort of law of the universe. Number one, I'm always curious. Like, you got all this power. What do you want? What do you want from me? I'm just a monkey, man. A monkey. I pee and I poop. I get hungry. I have flaws. I'm waiting for a bull market in crypto. Like, what do you want from me, right? I like green candles. Like that. Okay? But then he answers this interesting part, okay? He says how they get you is you start getting images in your head where you start seeking answers and they keep giving you answers. And so they basically, it's got the carrot on the stick. They're like, oh, I want this knowledge, okay? And they give you an answer. And what he actually says is they perform tricks on him, you know, where it's loopy, right? He looks like a normal straight dude. He goes, listen, I'm connecting with these otherworldly beings. They told me to do stuff. He said, but they're tricksters. It's literally, it's weird. It's like the Bible. It's what the Bible says. He goes, the devil is just total tricksters and deceptions. He goes, they'll give him an instruction to go do, but they'll leave like a key missing piece in the middle, right? And he didn't get into it, but I guess it might be like, you know, go over to that store and go rob them, you know, and then like, whatever he's connecting with, interdimensional, evil, satanic being, they kind of leave out the part that dude's got a shotgun at the back of his cash register. You know what I mean? Like something like that, but he wouldn't dive into it because I guess I didn't have time. And he's doing all these like Enochian magic and stuff out here. So he said, friends, so I was also curious. I'm like, okay, I want to know, okay, what do people want from these people? What do they actually want? And what ends up happening is there's a common theme I noticed, yeah? You end up just worshipping technology or whatever it is. You become like really materialistic. That's what it is. Okay, you end up like you stop caring for humans and then you worship like whatever the material is, right? And like as soon as I heard that, I'm like, damn, man, that's like every video game I've played, every ancient text, all these movies as a kid, they all say the same thing, yeah? You lose your soul. You start like worshipping whatever that is. And you know what's weird, friends? Do you know the Antichrist, Peter Thiel? You know Peter Thiel, friends? But this dude's literally, friends. They asked him, Peter Thiel, they literally asked him, hey, bro, are you the Antichrist? He's like, I'm like, bro, just say no. Well, he just asked you, are you the Antichrist? He goes, I was like, bro, just get, Spirity, get it, take it. I couldn't believe it. Like, are you the Antichrist? Anyway, he basically confirms as well what their whole goal is to get people to worship technology. Now, is that AI? I don't know what it is. It's just worship something else. Is it false idols from the Bible? I don't know. Let me know, friends, what you think. There's a common theme there. It's like, hey, forget everything else. Worship this material thing. Now, friends, all of these stories and stuff, they don't just stop there. I mean, like, even throughout Josh's clip here, you have all the rappers and stuff. They talk about the P. Diddy parties, right?
When you lose your man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying?
See, when you lose your man card, as in, you know, Diddy, all the baby oil and stuff out here, all the paths lead down that road. And it's the same story. It's just different words. Reptile, lizard, Archon, or whatever it is, okay? It's all the same thing. And do you guys remember Corey from the entertainment industry, friends? He came out, he basically revealed, he goes, yeah, there is a pedophile ring, and he was a victim.
Tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh, yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
Corey Feldman was one of the biggest child actors of his time.
Yeah, one of the biggest child actors. So, look, I used to think, oh no, they just have a sickness. No. It's straight evil. It's not sickness, bro. It's like, that's what. Whenever you hear someone, they say, oh, these, you know, you like strawberry ice cream. Okay, people aged over 18, they just like vanilla ice cream, which is like kids under 12. No, I don't buy that. That's Satan himself talking through whatever the hell that fat hair, that fat grape looking blue and purple hair grape looking thing who wants you to chop off your genitals. They're just like the perfect vehicle representation on. And it always ends up in the media. And there's always psyops. Like, fans, remember I told you I always make this joke, like every 3 months I read an article. They're like, hey, did you know 75% of dudes are actually secretly gay and they can't wait to be gay? And I'm like, dude, who is this guy trying to... Bro, I know I'm not gay. Okay, I don't need to write a sausage for me to tell you I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... We're having fun here, but that's what they try to do. It's always deception. It's always psyops, right? By the way, how do we even know this? Because we're in crypto. Because everyone's trying to sell you stuff. Your brain basically just gets used to it. You got to tune in. Now, friends, this next part's going to get it. It's dark, okay? It's dark. The Smashing Pumpkins, Mr. Billy Corgan, he actually interviewed Corey here, okay? He actually interviewed Corey here, and they speak about these evil interdimensional things. You got to read between the lines. Let's listen here.
From that I want to show you, and they both say things that just reinforce everything that we have looked at in this video so far.
I hope you understand the gist of the way I'm asking. When you feel like it's personal, I oftentimes find myself wondering, what's the crime?
Right.
So, like, what crime have you committed?
Being a child of Hollywood.
Right.
I mean, that's the crime. The crime is there's what I've come to realize. I don't know if you got to see my film when I put it out, My Truth.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to find since we don't allow it to be out there anymore because it was stolen, it was pirated, and it was given out.
I did read about that.
And all of this stuff. I mean, it was one of the most heinous, horrendous, horrible receptions of a cry for help that I've ever seen in my life, and Hollywood should be ashamed of it. But
that's your crime.
Well, my crime was that I was a kid who was molested, who was given drugs. And so what do they do to those kids? They make sure that they don't have the power of a voice when they get older. So that basically you're, the unsung hero, you're everybody's favorite, you're the future of Hollywood, you're the golden child, and then you turn 18 and it's like, oh, we're here. And you're like, wait, what? 6 months ago I was the golden child. What happened? Oh, but he got arrested for drugs. His career's over.
Ben, just to let you know, I'll cut to the chase, more info. There's something about children. Their aura is special. I don't know if their pineal gland is bigger. There's something about children that these like satanic, evil, Baal worshipping scum that they know they feed off this energy. I don't know what it is. A different quantum field. Maybe our science is going to catch up in 50, 100. I don't know what it is. I'll just tell you, there's something special about children. It's not, oh, chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream. It's not that. There's actually something with children. All the stories point to that. They go after children, and it's not like this simple, oh, it's just, you know, oh, they're just attracted to under 18-year-old. No. There's something there. There's something there. We don't know what it is. Okay, there's some sort of field. There's, I don't know, like just some nutrient, vitamin. I don't know what it is. There's just, they always go for that. And it's like beyond our science now, right? We don't have words to describe it, right? It's kind of like, okay, I take you back to the Middle Ages. We go back to 400 years ago, and you and I land on a potato farm in the middle of the island, and we've got our phones. You know what I mean? And we're like, oh, do you know we're speaking to each other right now? And they're like, oh, where the voice is coming from? And you're like, oh, well, I got to explain to you what a transistor is. And then like there's a satellite, and the electrons are going through the waves, and we don't understand what's going on. You know, that's what's happening right now. But it's a common theme. The theme is, whenever we try to learn about it, they're like, shh, go and watch the TV, right? That's the suspicious part. It's like there really is an effort to make sure we don't learn whatever the thing is. Also through here, friends, Billy Corgan speaks about this little dark Hollywood part.
Yeah. Imagine somebody writing way back then about dark Hollywood before anybody even knew about dark Hollywood.
Right.
Okay.
But because it existed.
Yes. What I'm saying is, I can read that book or I can see some documentary, but you've lived dark Hollywood. Yeah. Like not the mythology version, like the real version of dark Hollywood.
And I didn't even realize it until I put my documentary out. And it wasn't until that moment that I realized how real it really was, how much of a force it really was.
Oh, yeah.
And how much power and control they have over media, technology.
Everything. Also, look, there could be a correlation here, okay? Hollywood, this is the thing, right? I know this is also beyond our science. You know, manifesting, we know there's some science to this manifesting stuff. It could be that when we watch all the movies, we watch these famous people, right? And they're in your head all the time. So you're almost like, they're like channeling all your energy. Okay? I wouldn't have the science, but it could make them like, you know, almost superhuman. And maybe that's why, whatever the hell this Baal satanic cult is, this Diablo boss cult, that's why I wrote, friends, Baal the Diablo boss, okay, it could have something to do with that. It could be that. But also, it could be that people who have a talent to become famous, maybe they're wired differently, like artists, maybe they have a bigger pineal gland. I don't know what it is. You know, you're not even allowed to so you can't even, that's why we're like reading behind this, because you're not even acknowledge this is real, because like, you know what I mean? And watch, they even go a bit deeper as well. Watch.
Who don't know it, it just sounds like kind of a weird fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because who wants to believe?
And not only that, but they're going to write 100 stories that play to the idea that it is a weird.
But I think we're savvy enough in the world, given the political seasons of the last 10 years, that people are starting to really understand the difference between, let's call it, the media, propaganda, and narratives. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for people to believe that the Magic Factory, which is what this town is, that there's this other side to the Magic Factory.
There's an alchemy behind it, right?
Well, that gets into a lot of different things, right?
Very interesting.
Alchemy. Right? Alchemy. Okay? And they also, in that clip, they speak a bit more like, you know, they use a word like, oh, dark. And like, you know, they're very careful because they know, man, when they start dropping the word, the C word, you know, friends, we say cult in crypto, and the actual like Baal cult stuff, they know it's heavy duty. Now, friends, after all of this, it comes down to the Diablo boss, Baal. All right? Baal. Now, this is, firstly, Baal, if you're out there, I'm a level 55 barbarian, and I just learned Tornado Slash. So Baal is a Diablo boss, you know what I mean? Like, they always use it in video games. He's depicted as like, evil, defeat him. He's gonna drop a big chest piece. They actually follow Baal. Okay, so Baal, demon stuff. Friends, do you remember the Olympics, by the way? Do you remember the Olympic shit? No, you were here. Don't pretend we were all here, dude. Are we going to act like we did not just see the most obvious brainwashing of Olympic crap? Paris Olympics opening ceremony, blasphemous and insult. We were here. What the hell was that? You saw freaking the satanic stuff in the Olympics. You saw all of it, friends. You saw absolutely all of it. They were mocking Jesus, the cutting the bread, friends. You saw all of these, right? Right. This is like, bro, you couldn't make it any more obvious. Now, I thought it's someone who's. That's what I initially thought. You know, when I first saw it, I go, oh man, some people are like really like cuckoo. It's not. Okay, it's not. This is strange for me to put in words because like I grew up watching, you know, there's video games and like, you know, you play this game, World of Warcraft, and you read these quests, there's all this stuff, and they always talk about truth and light, truth and light, truth. And they said deception and darkness is always over there when they're always lying, they're always deceiving, they're always a chameleon, always shapeshifting. Okay, not just physically but metaphorically, they're always changing stuff. That is darkness, and truth will set you free. And I'm hearing all these light and truth things, and I'm like, I just thought it was like a meme. But then as you dig deeper and deeper, there's always these common stories where evil actually cowards. Evil is a little bitch. Okay, that's why it's hard. It's hard to like for me to say this. Like the memes are real, right? So all of these stories, friends. This is crazy, yeah. Not really crazy when you think about it. There's been people, you know, like the Aborymon dude. They found out. Okay, these are the NASA scientists as well. They know this. Okay, this is 100% confirmed true. So, if you're ever met with a presence, dark presence, right? If you say Jesus' name, or you can pray to Muhammad, or you can pray to Vishnu, whatever it is, but if you just pray to like a positive vibration, it goes away. Okay, NASA scientists know this, friends. They know this. Okay, which like wow. So, what is it about this dark stuff that we're not being told about? Well, it all comes back to Baal. Now, friends, I just want to tell you, okay, there's a history of where it comes from. It probably stems way deeper than this, but I'm just going to warn you, okay? Please, I don't want to see anyone like going and just attacking all these other races and stuff. I hate. Don't play full of race baiting, but they are going to show how there was a Baal cult and they had a choice of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism to hide under. Okay, and they chose Judaism in the middle of Russia. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you. So I don't want you to go think, oh yeah, let's go target the race bait. No, then you're just the monkey and they're just pressing the button. Okay, because once you go target over one race, they just start going, oh look at this, it's the other race. Okay, so we're just going to listen to stuff out here, and we're just going to go through
the ancient one,
the cult of Baal, B-A-B-A-L.
Yep.
I know very little about it. My family masqueraded themselves as Jewish publicly. But behind closed doors, you know, at Passover dinners, when I was drugged, would admit, we are Satanists. Now, what I can understand, the public has caught on to this, but they call them the Illuminati.
More mentions of the Illuminati and this cult of Baal publicly masquerade themselves as Jewish, but behind closed doors, they're not Jewish at all. They are Satanists. Baal, Satan, essentially one and the same. And so
as you know, friends, you know, that's why, like, is it all the same thing? You know, shape-shifting, lizard, deception, the pedophile ring, Epstein. When we see all this stuff, are they actually just one thing? Could be just evil, man. You know, they read about it. Every religious text. They're like, hey, just watch out for the evil. Don't invite the evil in. And that's what I've been noticing. It is like that. Just change the story, change the faces, and it's the same stuff, right? And there's always been these cults, friends, of Baal and stuff. Look at this. In 2021, 2 leaders of the group were convicted of kidnapping a child and sexual exploitation crimes in New York. They kidnap, they take him from their mother. Remember the McMahon? I mean, friends, Ghislaine Maxwell herself was literally the madam who was kidnapping the kids and stuff like that. Like I said, there's something with the kids. You get it? I guarantee if we could just find out what is it about the kids that have, what do they have? They have some sort of field. There's something about children that they feed off, okay? We don't have the science for it. But it's there. And a lot of us, we have a lot of theories, have different words for it. We know there's something there, though. Now, at the end here, they actually go through the origins of Baal, this Khazaria stuff. And there's basically there was the cult there. They had a choice, you know, like I said to you, like, oh, What are you going to? Oh, wait, this is like, this. He looks like a total evil doofus, this guy. So yeah, they're like, oh, Khazaria, this in somewhere like in Russia. They're like, oh, we're a Satanist cult. Let's choose one of them. But I don't want you to focus on that because like the more you seek the answers, friends, you're not going to find the answer, bro. Remember, there's like crypto and the cycles. There's always another domino. There's always another domino. It goes further and further and further back. And then actually you realize what I did. The yin yang. You see, even in total white, there's a little black dot. Yeah. You can never get 100% good. You can get 99% good. You never get 100% good. There's like always something. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. I don't know. The simulations are designed like that, you know? But you might say, hey, if you were the simulation creator, you would make sure everything's good. Yeah, but remember, friends, I made videos showing you my mind blew when we discovered the greatest inventions made for humanity were in times of war and famine and disease. And then you're like, wait a minute. You're telling me the only way we progress is if there's fear to like push us? Like, oh, this disease is going to wipe you out. Better improve your medicine. Oh, this comet's going to wipe you out. Better improve your science. Oh, this guy's going to blow up your country. Better make it safer. Right? Everything's like that. Everything is the fear button. We're all got that fear button, right? So yeah, friends, even at the end of this video, that's why you're always seeking for answers. But show us the answer, show us the answer. And I'm not going to read all of this, but you know, they chose one of the 3 Abrahamic religions. Remember, we got to think beyond that. Obviously, I don't want to see the race baiting stuff out here because you know, bro, it's so easy to use. I would say, friends, if you put me dictator for a day, I know exactly what to throw on Twitter. You know, oh, white kid bashing a black kid. Oh, Asian kid bashing a white kid. You know, we fall for it every single time, right? Now, this is where it goes so wild, friends. I'm going to show you. Do you remember Alex Jones? He took a video camera to the Bohemian Grove. It's a secret, and it's a secret group. They worship an owl god. And they're all flaming homosexuals. And you know who said that? Richard Nixon. Remember Richard Nixon? There's the tapes. He goes, oh man, I got to go to the Bohemian Grove. A lot of flaming homosexuals over there. So they worship an owl god. Okay, now that ties in with Baal. Okay, so if we check it out here, let's listen.
Magic, also known as secret Satanism. This Satanism involved occult ceremonies featuring child sacrifice after bleeding them out. Drinking their blood, I put that in quotes because it's a literal statement, after bleeding them out, drinking their blood, and eating their hearts. The deep, dark secret of the occult ceremonies was that they were all based on ancient Baal worship, also known as worship of the owl. Now, I'm going to begin to make a connection here for you. Now, worship of the owl. Have you all ever heard of a place called Bohemian Grove?
Yes, we certainly have heard of Bohemian Grove, and he goes deeper into this stuff. Like I said, the links are down there if you want to go and check it out. But let me just reiterate quickly, before I get on to how this all, I think, ties back to Tila Tequila and Jeffrey Epstein, which, you know, you can probably begin to see by now what I'm getting at. This is not against any specific religion, because in fact...
Oh, yeah, so friends, remember, it's not about this religion stuff, okay? But you know, there's some common themes, bro. They're always going for the children. Do you know how many children go missing every year? I used to think, oh, no, it's just little statistic. No. Children go missing in parks, America, all around the world. Children missing. Friends, I literally, okay, I don't want to, okay, I'm not suicidal, everybody. La, 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 la. I am happy. La, la, okay. You know what I mean? I showed you, there's a video I showed you. Like, let me bring it out here for you, dude. We literally have a coconut intelligence agency lady transporting a kid through the Mexican airport, gets caught. Here it is. Okay. La 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 la. I'm not suicidal. Okay, we just got to tell you this. Okay. Look at this. Look at this contractor. Look at this, friends. She literally, bro. You are walking through an international airport with a kid that's not yours. This kid is covered head to toe in a hoodie with a mask. Look at this, friends. She literally walks on through.
We've spoken to some of these children, and they tell us that they don't know a lot of times the sponsors that they're going to. Do you have any comment on that at all? No, I don't. This is MVM, correct?
Look at this. Look at this guy goes. He's like, bro, where are you taking the kid? He goes and he asks the security, the airport security at Mexico Security Airport. And look at it, they're not allowed, look at this.
Were their IDs even checked just there? Were their IDs even just checked? Who checked their IDs? I didn't see any ID check just there.
Si, senor.
There was no ID check. Right. Why weren't their IDs checked? If I was going to go here...
I can't talk to you about that.
I'm going to ask you, why do you guys ID American citizens when those children can't do you guys an ID them?
I'm not going to say anything on camera.
Jesus Christ. That's why people say, oh, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Bro, we have the evidence. It's right here. We just saw a kid get trafficked through an international airport. No IDs get checked. Fake sponsors. They're transporting kids around. Friends, you know with Diddy, yeah, you know what his neighbor said? Oh, man, some people don't deserve life. His neighbor said once his parents, they dropped off their 14-year-old daughter at like midnight. Why do they get to breed? Yeah, literally. You drop off your 14-year-old daughter to a Diddy party at midnight? What's that conversation, bro? My God. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, ha, 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 weird, mate. No. This has to be deeper than just, oh, what type of flavor ice cream do you like? It has to come from some sort of interdimensional, satanic, devil-worshipping scum thing. And yeah, it always comes back, right? All these themes. Illuminati, words, lizards. It's all the same shit, dude. It's all the same shit. They sell their soul, okay? It's always a child sacrifice, right? Like I said again, hey, come at me, Baal. Come at me. Yeah? Level 55. Okay, don't. Come at me. But after all these friends, remember, this is why I got the best UFO channel in crypto. I'm the only guy who likes smiles. Everyone else is like, deep, dark, no, the children fear. I'm like, bro, do you understand your fear is the button that gets you to react? It's the only button they have, fear. So if you stop being so scared, they have no power over you. You know that, right? They only got one button, fear. Well, we know it from crypto. It's going to pump without you. FOMO, fear, both of them. F, fear. So it's only one button to control us. So even after all this, I think humanity is going to be all right. And no one likes to hear that. No one likes to hear that. Because people normally who are attracted to this stuff, they're a bit black-pilled, where they're like, oh, everything's bad. It's not what you seems. It's like everything's bad. I don't think everything's bad, dude. I think it's more like, 5 steps forward, 4 steps back. 5 steps forward, 4 steps back. I think it's getting better over time. And no one says that. No one says that. Like, it's always deep, dark. It's all over. You are no better than everybody else losing their mind when you start thinking like that. But friends, even after all these, let's play some angel music, right? I've got some questions, I've got some questions. Baal, I'll take you one-on-one. Come at me. Hey, Baal, come at me. I've got some questions. If you're so powerful, man, why do you need us? Number one. Number two, are we even special? We're obviously not the most intelligent being in the universe. Why do they want us? We have all these. We don't know. Because here's the thing. Sometimes they say in the texts and stuff, they go, oh, you are special. I don't know. But like, that's like humans, we're so self-centered. It's so easy to trick someone and go, you're special. Friends, every Disney movie, when someone gets corrupted, that's how like the darkness comes. They go, you're the special one. You're the chosen one. You know what I mean? It's like we just believe that. Is that psyops true? Okay. All these answers, we might not ever find out. And you know what? You notice all these themes. The words change. Oh, it's a lizard now. It's a chameleon. What's going on, right? But ultimately, we come back to a few things. Okay. The video you just watched, people get killed for it. But you got to admit, it's really weird how like you can go out and just sing songs about pedophiles, being cool, and chopping off your nuts, and abusing women, and taking a lot of drugs, and killing each other. Like, that's totally okay. And then when it comes to, Shapeshifting. What's the truth? Are we being lied to? What's really going on? That is like totally, okay, that's not on, right? I want to know what you think, baby dolls. A lot of stuff to go through. I'm telling you, man, it's a conspiracy SuperCycle. Right? That's what I know, man. I think the trend is happening, but I think we're going to hit a point. Too many of us have like switched on, and we're going to get like a planned world crisis. I think they're going to push the emergency button, okay? My bets are on some sort of world cyber attack. Something's going to come. Just hit the feed button. Hit the feed button. They're waking up. They're waking up, right? But not yet. Not yet. Because it's the bull market coming. Like, subscribe, belly button north. Catch you next one.